is Missy. I'm a little excited about this reading today because I've wanted to get this particular deck here for a while. It's the Mystic Martian Oracle. So what we're going to do is a pick a card reading. We're going to look at your starseed origins. I want to look at what are your starseed origins, and more specifically beyond that, because I've always been very interested in starseeds. I have to admit I don't know a whole lot about them, which is the reason that I wanted this particular deck. But beyond that, you know, what are the crystals that are best suited for each starseed, right? So I want to ask that question today, which is why we have these two decks here. But more importantly, the reason that I'm doing this introduction is because of this particular deck. I just want to warn you before we get into the reading that this deck here is going to be a little bit explicit. It is called, as you can see, I'm not going to say what the title is. It's nicely bleeped out for me right there on the cover of the book. So as you can tell from the title, you know, it's not going to be for the faint of heart, which is exactly what it says on the back of the deck. But it's an awesome deck. Just give it a chance. If you're okay with some explicit content, give it a chance. So this is the box for that particular deck here, and what it says, in case it's not abundantly obvious, this deck is not for the faint of heart. If you clutch your pearls at the sight of aliens wielding phallic probes, this may not be the deck for you. However, if you possess a cosmic one capable of abducting farmers from their land and love all things ray gun and UFO, this deck will help you embrace your power and delve into your own psyche. So we're going to do a reading today looking at the starseed archetypes from this deck. And I want to ask, you know, not just what the starseed archetype is, and we're going to read from the book to see, it has some explanations in there. But I also kind of want to ask, what are you supposed to do with that? As well as, what are the crystals that are best suited for you? And we're going to do it in a pick a card format for each sign. So you'll see this introduction multiple times if you're watching for your sun, moon, and rising, or if you're cross-watching for other signs. Yeah, I think I've said everything that I need to say, other than these readings are meant to be timeless and general in nature. So if the details for this reading fit for your personality, right, because your personality or your situation, because that's really what you're looking at here with these archetypes. So like I say, I wanted to explain that I am not an expert on starseeds. That's the reason that I bought this book. I'm learning about it with you watching this video, or maybe you know more than I do about it. Maybe I'm learning about it and just sharing what I'm learning here with you. But I thought we could explore it together. So you know, just take what comes from this reading only if it resonates for you. If it doesn't resonate for you, don't try to push it. Don't try to force it. You'll do more harm than good. And obviously, I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or accountant. So if you have questions concerning that kind of stuff, you really need to see a professional. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Before we get completely into the reading, I want to go ahead and read what it says about starseeds here in the book. Let's see. Okay, so it says, starseeds prior to this or other Earth incarnations have experienced life elsewhere in cosmos other than Earth. Some starseeds have recall activated in their DNA due to Earth's limited recall access biosphere from ancient historical collective trauma. Others have no actual memories at all. All starseeds have an inkling, sensing, or knowing that this incarnation at some point originated and belongs to something somewhere far bigger. Many starseeds have an inner awareness level of consciousness development outside of the predictable mainstream narratives. Starseeds are typically spiritual in nature and have healing energies. Some are very new souls on Earth, while others are very old souls that have experienced many contracted incarnations on Earth to evolve and pass on ancient esoteric wisdoms. The newer souls will be continuing the older souls' work. Different starseeds will naturally resonate towards different aliens and galactic alliances. It is not uncommon for awakening starseeds to have dreams, memories of traveling AT crafts, or experiences of UFO encounters. Starseeds are here now to assist in the transitioning and activation of the collective consciousness on Earth. So, based on what it says there, I'm taking this to mean that, you know, you can belong to one particular starseed family but have interactions from many others. Hello, Libra. Let's go ahead and get your piles ready so that you can choose which group you like, or groups, whatever you're drawn to. We're going to get charms at the very end of the reading after we look at your star family, how you're meant to use that energy, and then we'll get a few, you know, any extra messages that they want you to know about. But when we get to the charms at the end of the reading, we're going to look at what you need to be aware of over the next month regarding your star family, or the energy that, you know, how you're supposed to use it. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. We have the song Gangster, Kalani. Gangster is the name of the song, but Kalani is the artist. Okay. One more shuffle. Man, that's quite a few, but we're going to use it anyway. All right. Let me get these straightened. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Go ahead and make your choice now. Okay, hello, Group 1. Let's go ahead and see which star family you belong to. So we have the reptilians. It says predator, survival, and tyrannical. Interesting. Now we have black coral, a light in the darkness. Black tourmaline, protection. We have the song, You Don't Own Me. say grace. And now we've got petrified wood, past life embrace. Okay. A lot of like, well, protection and then fear with just the word petrified, right? And reptilians, well, we've got the word predator here. So obviously you have, you know, I just realized looking at this image, this could be like, maybe you're an athlete. Literally, I thought of like a boxer, like someone who's into boxing or some sort of fighting, martial arts or something. But there's something about your presence is intimidating to others. It's also interesting that we had the song Gangster come out with this particular card, so take that however it resonates. Maybe you're someone who, because of where it says past life embrace, either you dealt with this energy in the past, but I don't think so. We're asking, what is your star family? And we just got to read it the way it comes through. I'm so sorry. I hope that I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I just have to read it the way that it's coming through. And this does, it does have energy of being a bit of a gangster, a bit of like intimidating. I don't know. I kind of hesitate to say bully though. Even though there's a fighting aspect here, there's also protection over here. So, and then you've got light in the darkness as well. I think maybe you might have, like, it's maybe a reputation for being intimidating in some way or predatory, right? Like maybe you've had to fight quite a bit in order to accomplish your goals. And maybe you've had to use your size or your presence or something. There's whatever it is that makes you intimidating, whether it's the skill that you have in fighting something. I feel like this actually kind of feels like a championship belt or something. I think you're very controlling, probably possessive because of the Say Grace song that was just on. But it's controlling and possessive because you're protective. And if you're feminine watching this and you're like, I don't fight at all, what are you talking about? There's something about your presence that's very intimidating to others. But you're actually not, you're not predatory the way that people might, okay, I should take that back. You're not predatory in the terms of I'm trying to go out and yeah, see, look at the song. The song is Born for Greatness, Papa Roach. So it's like, it's not, you're not out to try and prey on others. I think this is just like the impression, or like, you might even have a reputation for being a little bit like a fighter or scary or mean or something. Like there's a reason to be afraid of you. I don't know why yet. Maybe we'll find out when the tarot cards come out, but just based on these two cards alone, right? And they keep saying, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. So it's like people look at you and judge you unfairly when this is really what's hiding. This is what's underneath all of this that's on the outside. It's like you have a hard shell, but what's underneath is comforting, because petrified wood is very comforting, solid, stable, secure. And it's also a solar plexus chakra stone. And so this has to do with this energy over here where you had to enforce your own personal will in some way in order to accomplish your goals. And because of that, that's part of the reason that you're seen as intimidating. And even if you're a woman and you're like, I'm not aggressive, I don't, I have, especially if you're like, I'm a woman and I'm a Cancer, I've got all this Cancer and Pisces energy in my chart, I'm so passive. There's still something about your energy where you've had to survive and you've had to fight to survive that is intimidating to others. So let me go ahead and read what it says about the reptilians. Interesting as well that the number 17 breaks down to an 8. So it could also be that you have like abundance, right? The number 8 is the number of success, but it's also a number for abundance. So maybe there's some wealth there, even if it's not actual money wealth. There's some other wealth, or the appearance of wealth at least. Like maybe you own property because of this. It looks like I feel like he's inside of a castle here. Okay. It says the reptilian beings are a very close genotype to their Alpha Draconian allies and have close ties with them. They also typically are known to be malevolent, cruel, volatile, and intimidating. They have been associated with many abduction reports. They originate from Alpha Draconis system in Orion constellation. Their convoluted Earth history is similar to Alpha Draconians in that it seems to stem back to ancient civilizations with crossbreeding anomalies with the off-planet Anunnaki of Sumer and widespread planetary Nephilim beings. A typical reptilian stands 6 to 8 feet tall with thick lizard-like skin ranging in green to brown tones. They have a lizard-like head and eyes and have some shape-shifting abilities. We have the song There's Nothing Holding Me Back, Shawn Mendes. It says the reptilians work under their Alpha Draconian overlords' rules and are militant and relentless predators. So militant is sticking out because there is this fighting aspect here. They largely stay in underground subterranean environments and are associated with the MyLabs. A U.S. geologist whistleblower exposed the truth of underground reptilian ETs and how they shot his finger off with a laser. So the card meaning is tyrannical, cruel, fight or flight, reptilian brain, interrogation, predator, survival, bully, territorial, pecking order, militant, viewing everything as competition. I do feel like that is definitely coming through here. I have to be really honest about that. Not so much that you're trying to prey on others, but I do think that there's definitely an aspect of seeing others as competition. And then in the reversed, it's relaxed, accepting, allowing, they surrender, they're fair, and there's healthy competition. Okay. So one thing I'm learning about this particular deck here, I have to be very honest. It seems like some of the more harsh cards, you know, so the way that I would read like tarot cards, I typically don't read them upside down or in the reverse unless they fall from the deck that way. That tells me that they're meant to be in the reverse, right? Because there are just too many cards already in the upright, and I already know the reverse meanings, and I can already like intuitively tell what they're trying to say, and so that's why I do it that way, right? And the reason for that is because for me, if it's in the upright, I see it as, you know, this is basically healthy energy unless the combination of cards are telling me otherwise. But if a card comes out in the reverse, it's like Spirit is telling me specifically that there is toxic energy coming through, But I'm noticing with this specific deck, with the harsh cards, when they're in their healthy energy, it's what we would see as toxic. And I think there's a message here, especially because when I first opened this particular group's reading and saw this combination of cards here, I knew that you were already being sort of misjudged based on either your energy, your presence, your reputation, something. You're being misjudged in some way. And here I was doing it as well, because like I say, like what is healthy for you would be toxic for me, right? And so it's like there's a message here of tolerance as well, especially with this light in the darkness and the black coral. So I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the tarot cards, because I want to see how you're supposed to use this energy. I think tolerance is going to be a big part of it. And like I say, I don't actually think that you're trying to prey on people, at least, you know, not the ones who picked this, not the ones who are getting this particular star family and have picked this group here. That doesn't mean there aren't other people who belong to this star family who are not toxic, right? I shouldn't even say it that way, because again, there's a message of tolerance coming through, because, you know, what I see as one way may not necessarily be how you see it. And I'm not talking, you know, like actually going out and hurting other people just for the pleasure of hurting them is absolutely toxic. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about when it comes to survival and moving through life and accomplishing your goals. I think you've had to be predatory in terms of competition, not because you're trying to hurt other people, but because you are trying to survive. And so there might be people that don't agree with that. So let's go ahead and move on to the tarot cards. And I have to say, I'm kind of a little bit nervous recording this today, because so far this one is I feel it's going to be a very deep reading. It's a very good reading as well, but yesterday I wasted my entire day, recording, and then I accidentally erased everything because there was an error, and I was on Sagittarius, and there was an error with the first group for Sagittarius, and it wasn't saving the reading. And I was going to have to start over, but I couldn't, because as you saw with your own reading, there's a pile picking process in the beginning, right? And so I had already gone through and looked at this portion and like mixed it in. I'd done the entire reading, so everything was mixed in, and I couldn't remember the very beginning, like what were the first crystals and what was the first, well, it was only one star family, so that one was easy to find. But anyway, I couldn't remember the cards to be able to go back and try to film it again. And the problem was that I didn't have space left in the you know, the spot where I was trying to save it. So then I went in and erased some stuff and accidentally erased all of my work. But anyway, there's, you know, there's a message in that here for you because of all the hard work, right? Especially with the song Spinning Bottles, it's talking about going round and round and round. I feel like this is part of the energy, like with this being misjudged energy, right? Like you're going round and round. It's almost like the work that you're putting in, no matter what you do, something happens, and it might be even related to something you say or do, where you're not intending to be you're not intending to like erase the progress that you've made, but it does. Okay, now we have the song He Is So, Debbie Harry, And you know what I just realized? I forgot to turn my microphone on, so I'm recording right now with the wrong microphone. Let me go ahead and switch it real quick, which is really going to give me a chance to see if this is saving at all. So, okay, hopefully that sounds better, but so far so good. Let's go ahead and see how you're meant to use this energy. I have to be honest, business or property, something like that, is already coming through pretty strongly. Like, so I don't know, this might be specific for somebody. So the pyramids, if you watch any documentary about the pyramids, you hear about the different the passageways and where they lead. And so this, in the reptilians here, you can see in the background there's that passageway there, but it seems to be ascending, or, you know, it's obviously, you know, it looks like it's leading up to me. Even though it is going straight, it still looks like it's leading up to me, or upward. And so there's just something about that, the way that it's, I feel like with that passageway there and the past life, past life embrace aspect of petrified wood, there is a need to make up for some past karma, past life karma, past ancestral karma or trauma or something, it's like raising the ancestral line in some way. And let's be very honest here. There's already some very harsh energy coming through, and we've already acknowledged that you've been misunderstood in some ways, but I think in other ways you've been very, very clearly understood. Not just you, but more than likely your ancestral line. And because of that, there's a need to raise that, to ascend, right? So in other words, what I'm getting at is there's this feeling of the karma, or the good karma that you're building now is not just benefiting you, it is benefiting your ancestral line as well. It's like raising the ancestral line, bringing them to ascension as well. We have the song Conversations, Juice WRLD. I apologize for pausing for a second. I'm waiting for a message to come in because I have to go do something important, and I thought it had, but it was somebody else. Okay, I think, do I have my deck upside down? No, but remember, was it you that I was talking about how I don't read my cards upside down unless they fall that way from the deck. And then here we are on the bottom of the deck after I'm done shuffling. We've got one upside down. And this is, it's the Knight of Wands. Or excuse me, the Page of Wands, sorry. It's the Page of Wands. So when it's in the reverse, that's there's some sort of news or a message that comes in that makes you very unhappy. It's like bad news comes in. Now, everything on the bottom of the deck is the energy that leads you up to the moment that we're in right here, where you're now watching this reading, right? So this is everything from your past, probably recent past, because it is talking about bad news. Doesn't have to be incredibly recent, or at least for you it's going to feel like it's still new. And look, now we have the Tower underneath that. So it's some sort of bad news that makes you feel like you're everything is burning or crashing down. But interestingly, they get out, right? Like normally with the Tower you see people have either jumped or they've fallen from the tower, or they've been basically expelled from the tower because of the explosion or the lightning that comes in, right? But here you can see that they've got out safely. So you get some sort of bad news, but I think it's news where you're able to, like, everything comes crashing down, but like you're still okay, right? And now we've got the Knight of Swords. I think it's something that happened because of a mistake that someone made. Look at how sad this person is right here. Or this could be the person who's coming in to give you the news. This could be you, the disappointment that you feel. But I think even the person coming in to give the news, they look apologetic and sad. Oh. We've got the Lovers, so this could be around a relationship. We have the song I'm Good. Okay, so this is somebody who betrayed you, because we have the Seven of Swords now. And we have the dragonfly here in the Seven of Swords. So the dragonfly, and when we're talking about survival, right, and predatory behavior, most people, well, I don't know if most people know or not, but the dragonfly can be cannibalistic. So this might be a family member who did something that hurt you specifically. Yeah, and it's interesting to me, look at, you see the swan on the top of the waves, and then you see this person here under the water, like creating the waves. But this is the Nine of Cups. So whoever did what they did, they were trying to fulfill their own dreams. And it might have caused a problem for you. And I feel like, I hate to say it, we've already talked about, you know, family karma, ancestral, raising the ancestral karma, right? And so, did I say that we have the song I'm Good? I'm Good by David Guetta and Bibi Rexha. So, I feel like the energy that's on the bottom of the deck, this is possibly like a father figure. Doesn't have to be, but it's probably one of your parents or somebody who was supposed to, if it's not a parent, then it was somebody who was supposed to be a partner that was like family, right? Could even be a marriage or marriage partner, but it's like there's this message of don't keep the cycle going, number one, but this is because this is the energy that brought you to where you are now, and this here is so far the energy that you're working with your star family. And we've already spoken of raising the ancestral karma and how you're probably known for being a little scary, and you might have a reputation as being predatory more than likely because of this energy here. let's go ahead and see how you're meant to. I think that you're meant to literally, when they talk about raising the vibration, I think it's consciousness for you, right? Tolerance, teaching tolerance to the people or the rest of the family around you. Because, you know, reptilians, it can be narcissistic behavior. Like maybe you have family and people around you who are pretty narcissistic, right? You know whether you do or not. But if you're raising your own personal consciousness, I think it'll raise theirs, especially if you're close. We have the Ten of Cups. This is definitely a family issue, but again, it could be marriage as well, right? Because there's just two people here. You don't see the kids or anything else. Oh, there's 3 cards here. Very interesting. So now that tells me that this is like the overall energy, right? So marriage for some, just family issues for others. We have the Two of Wands. And it's pointing out Death Valley specifically in the signs there. So if you are from my area, you know exactly where Death Valley is. That might be something, a special message for someone. And she looks like she's on a journey, right? You see the road, her shadow is there. So this is the Two of Wands, and this is the preparation or the planning, right? The Ace of Wands would be the idea, but the Two of Wands would be the planning that comes from it. Okay, so very interesting. I don't remember if this came out in this order, but it does really make sense in this order now. So I'm going to read it that way. If it came out the other way, I think it's meant to be this way because it's talking about walking away. And you see, we're talking about her being on a journey here, or the planning. Like this here is knowing that there's something that's missing that you need to go out and find. That there's more to the story, basically, especially if you were raised in a family that's very narcissistic and predatory and kind of bullying and tyrannical. So you already know that there's more to the story. There's more out there than just this harsh, toxic energy. You want to go off and find it. So you go on this journey here with this Two of Wands, but they're talking about, especially with the Death Valley signs, like anybody who's ever been in Death Valley, you really want to prepare yourself before you go take a visit to Death Valley. Oh my God, I wasn't prepared. I've only been once. I was not prepared. I did not want to leave the hotel room, and I could not wait to leave the area altogether. I don't care how pretty it was. I don't care what was around it. Oh my God, it was just too hot. But anyway, I probably went at the wrong time of the year as well because I did not prepare. I didn't plan. And the Two of Wands is definitely about the planning stages for whatever the idea, the passion, the spark is. And then you get the Temperance in the immediate future. So I think right now you are already in the planning stages, and you've already put some pretty good steps into place, or some pretty good ideas into place. So I really like this Temperance card. I love her hair. I love the rainbow going from cup to cup, right? Because it speaks to inner balance, which is exactly what the Temperance card is about. Like Temperance can also be about like balancing your home or your work situation, or like an outer situation. But this card is really talking about inner balance. And then we also have the song Peaceful, Easy Feeling, the Eagles. So again, more of that energy of like searching, right? As well as staying grounded, which is what the Temperance card is about. So, and all of this, even more so, really, it tells me that your mission with this energy isn't to do anything more than help your family or the people around you who are still in the toxic energy, or I shouldn't say toxic again, like, because some of it might not be, some of it might just be misunderstood as well. Keep that in mind, especially if you are leaving a difficult family situation and you're very upset because you think it's completely toxic, but maybe it's just something where you've misunderstood. Maybe it's not as toxic as you think it is, or maybe there's some aspects of it that are not as toxic as you think it is. So there's tolerance needed. Not only are you learning it, but you're teaching it to those around you. I don't know why I feel like in terms of career, if you're asking about career, because maybe somebody is, although just because you're there, you belong to a starseed family or whatever, doesn't mean that you necessarily have to use the energy as a career. I've been trying to explain that for each sign or group. Some I remember, some I feel very strongly that I need to point it out, others I don't remember at all. Here I feel like I need to point that out, like you don't necessarily need to use this energy in your career. And in fact, it might not be a good idea to embrace it fully because it can be predatory and tyrannical, and that's something that can really get you into trouble. That can become violent. So nobody wants that. But if you want to stay in healthy competition, I think business is probably something you're either already in or should be in. And then we have something that has to do with like real estate, property, something like that. And I think that you probably already do well with whatever it is that you do. Oh, also the fighting and health or athletic aspect, like where because I do feel like this looks kind of like a championship belt to me. So okay, let's see if we can get is there anything else that they want to call to your attention before we move on to the charms, where we ask what is it that you need to be aware of over the next month regarding this energy. And I think if people kind of like this one, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about doing more readings, but where I just do energy updates for each of the star family. I don't know, there's quite a few of them in this deck. There's like 24 of them, so it would take a while for me to get through each one, but so I haven't decided yet if I'm actually going to do it or not, but it's an idea that's kind of sitting with me. Oh, look at now, you've got the sun on the bottom of the deck, and look at his face. This is what I mean. Like, if you embrace this energy way too much, you could end up getting yourself into trouble. Every time I see the sun in this deck, I always feel like, yeah, oh yeah, you can absolutely have what you want. It looks like you have to fight for it, or it looks like you have to kick somebody else's ass. Let's be real, like you really got to hurt somebody to be able to get what you want, or you have to fight for it. But if that's what you do, if you're an athlete and you are asking about, hey, am I going to win my next event? I think the answer is yes, definitely. A little confirmation for somebody. Or if you're in some sort of like competition where you have to fight someone else for it. Yeah, and I also see, even though it's not there, those are kind of looking, the eyes are kind of looking like dollar signs to me, so maybe it could be money that you win as well. We have the song Halloweeny 4 Innards by Ash Nico. Now we have the Ace of Discs, so I think definitely you're gonna, there's some sort of money coming in or money involved, something. You're getting, somebody's giving you something or being offered something. So they came out like this. Actually, it feels like it needs to go just like that, actually, just like that. So there could be two sides, especially if it's a fight. We've got the Five of Discs, somebody feeling sad and rejected, and then the World. Yeah. So if we're looking at numbers, like if you're looking at a score or anything, we've got like 5 to 21, but that 21 breaks down to a 3. So that could be, you know, it could be 5 to 3 or 5 to 21, something like that. But this side over here is the one that wins, because this is the successful completion, and you could tell by this side's face they're not happy. Rejection, rejected, right? And then we have the 8 of ray guns, the King of Discs, and the 8 of probes. So we've got 2 8s again. And I feel like what's happening here, look at the way the hands are tied over here, and then you've got all these probes like flying on the other side. So again, right, if you're wanting to know, especially in a fight, like I have a little confession. I tend to enjoy myself a little bit of MMA and stuff. So like I feel like this could definitely be a like if it's an MMA kind of thing, like definitely take down, like you're taken down to you take this side down to the mat because they're tied down, right? And then also it could be maybe over here, part of the other reason that you win is all of the blows that you get in, like you're getting blows in and quickly too as well. And then here's where, you know, you get awarded whatever, the applause, the announcement that you're the winner, that you're in the spotlight here in some way, something. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to move on to the charms to see what you need to be aware of over the next month regarding this situation here. Also, you've got the 3 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Like, if you are celebrating, it's like, it's like you're celebrating alone, but you're happy celebrating alone or something. Oh, weird. She looks content, but we do have the song, So Good, Halsey. Maybe you're celebrating alone, but you're thinking about somebody else. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right, so we have the South Node coming out over the 9th and 10th houses, so you might want to check your chart, especially if you're a Libra rising, to see if you have your South Node there. If you do, this is a confirmation or specific message for you when it comes to the South Node, so the South Node is energy of where you're coming from, right? And you do have this open heart key coming out over the 9th house as well. And so over the next couple of months, you're going to need to have a very open heart, open mind, and be, as well as, I think, the key or the answer to your situation, especially if it comes to building a bridge with someone else, if it's the person that you're thinking about that's going on with the song here, you're going to have to communicate where you're coming from. That's the key. You're going to have to keep an open heart, and you're going to have to communicate. The key is communicating where you're coming from to someone else in order to build a bridge. So I think that's like, because the bridge was in the upside down, like you're trying to look for some solution or something in order to reach out to someone, I think, or build a bridge between two things. There is money coming in terms of career or reputation, but we already kind of saw that. It could also be like partnership as well, because it's a $20 bill. Oh, if it would focus. And that's in the next month. There's someone in your social network, whether it's a friend or someone that you work with, or like even a extended family member who can help you, who can help to guide you in some way. We have Aries coming into your first house. So if you don't have Aries in your personal chart, you could be dealing with an Aries. So that, and that's coming over the air element of the first house. And so maybe this is, they're giving you information of some kind. They are your opposite house naturally. Especially if you're Libra ascendant. We have the song Wash It All Away, 5-Finger Death Punch. Oh, interesting. And I just realized that the owl, my blue owl, was upside down right there, coming over the 7th house, which is where Aries sits naturally for Libra ascendants. Or any Libra, like Aries is going to be your natural opposite, or that your natural... those who oppose you naturally, right? It's like, I feel like, especially because this came over the air element, this was upside down, there's some news or information that comes in and kind of turns everything upside down for you, everything you knew on its head, or everything you thought you knew on its head. This also could be in terms of a relationship, which is like, because this is the house of marriage and partnerships, business partnerships. It's also your open enemies, which we already discussed, all those, the people that you know to be opposed to you. But yeah, I think they're going to be saying something, giving you some sort of information that's going to like really kind of knock you for a loop. You're going to be like, man, I thought I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't. Don't really have anything on the 2nd house, but over the 3rd house you've got music. So, and that is sitting directly across from this energy in the 9th house, where we talked about you're going to really have to open up about where it is that you're coming from. You might want to use music to do that. You see how it's creating this line to the bridge here. And then coming out over the 4th house, you've got the sun and you've got the letter R. So this is more clarity coming into family situations. It could be around a person, place, or thing with the letter R. We have the octopus in the 5th house, and it is kind of sitting a little bit in the 6th house. So this one is interesting because this can be children who are just kind of like sucking the life out of you, sucking your energy. Like it's just kind of like their energy is dragging you down a little bit. But if it's not children, it could be a romantic partner or creative pursuits that are doing this to you. And then you've got this tiny little piece of opalite that's kind of clear, but it really is a piece of opalite, which is a man-made crystal. It's actually glass that's created in such a way that it kind of looks like moonstone, and actually some people will sell it as moonstone, which is a lie, right? So that could be attached to this, right? Because I always see octopus energy, like not octopus or octopi themselves, I guess that's how you would say it if it was the plural, right? I don't see them themselves as an animal as toxic or something that's dangerous, unless it's a big one and I'm in the ocean. I don't want it pulling me down underneath, but like the small ones that people keep as pets, so cute. I think they're very sweet, gentle creatures, right? But if they could, they would take you down into the water with them so that they could explore you at their leisure, which would drown you. And so there's an element of lies, especially the fact that we've already seen this energy here. When you put this opalite here in the 6th house, it's something man-made. It can be a lie that somebody is telling you, whether that's a romantic partner or your children, or a lie surrounding creative pursuits and how you're spending your time each day, and it's affecting your health in such a bad, like negative way, but it's man-made, meaning it's not like you don't control it. Like if man could make it, man can destroy it, right? You would think. Or if it's of your own doing, because you're too attached to these issues, then you can break that down and heal yourself. or pay attention to your health. And if you're stressed here, again, that's a message of you're stressed because of stuff that you're doing. Like this is stress that's coming about from your own actions, because this is the house of where are you putting your energy each day? Like how are you spending your time, the majority of your day? What are you doing, right? Are you working? Are you goofing off, right? So over here in the 8th and 9th houses, we have the scales of justice. So if there's an issue with money or like joint resources, or again, like if there's an ending of some type, because it is the 8th house, it's like you know how to, you either know how to balance it, but I think you know justice is coming in, or that things will get balanced, but there is a message as well of you know how to, like you know intuitively how to balance things out. But also there's justice coming in for those who are dealing with a legal issue in this area. There's justice coming in if things are going to get balanced out. It'll be fair, or it'll be fair for both parties, or as fair as can be for both parties. We have the song We Got the Beat, the Go-Go's, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this here. I hope that resonates. If it does not, please watch for your sun, moon, or rising. Please stick around, or excuse me, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, anything you can to help me. As you can tell, I've said this so many times that I definitely need the help, and I thank you very much for watching. Hello, group 2. Give me 1 second to get all the little birdie dust off the table. She was in here grooming, and if you have a bird, or if you have any experience with birds, you know that they can get a little dusty sometimes. Parrots can, I should say. Okay, so interesting. You've got 2 star families here. You have the Venusians and the Syrians. Okay. We're actually going to read from the book to see what it says about each of these families. Let's go ahead and see what your crystals are. So we have sodalite so far, but I'm actually going to get some more crystals to add to this, because not everyone is going to want to work with sodalite, or they may not have it, or whatever. Give me 1 second. So I do want to call out the pink coloring that's coming through from both cards. Actually, the darker pink as well as the lighter pink. So it's pretty obvious from the Venusians card that you're meant to be in a relationship. That's part of what you're meant to do with this energy. It says, for the Syrians B card, it says responsibilities, lessons, and growing up. I have to be honest, the way that the cards are set up here, it starts with the Venusians, which talks about romance, soulmates, having empathy for others. Like I say, we're going to read from the book some more, but I just want to give my first impressions here of what's happening. So it feels like it's like maybe you get married young, or once you get married, this is where you really start to like mature and flourish or something. And then we have the New Vision card. You mature and flourish, and then it's like once you mature and flourish, it changes some sort of plan. One more shuffle. So if it's not an actual plan, then maybe you, I don't know, I have to be honest, I'll look at the color from here, the way that it sits with these, and this is iolite, and it says vision as well, where sodalite says new vision. Okay, so especially now that the iolite is coming out, and they're talking about vision twice now. I mean, it could be that you have like clairvoyance or something like that, but that's not how this feels to me. It feels like you either get married young or you find your person young, right? And you kind of like, when this happens, like when you're in this energy here, it's like you have this whole idea of how you think life is going to go, right? And then you get married, or then you like embark on this life with your partner, and life actually comes in with this card here, the Syrian's B card, where it's talking about responsibilities, lessons, and growing up. And then you have that new vision with sodalite. So it's like, I don't think that I think that whatever like you thought your life was going to look like at this point is something completely different than what... and I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it's something completely different than what you thought it was going to be, especially if you're sitting here now and you're thinking about where you were then, right? Like, I don't know if you completely got to where you're supposed to be, but I think it's kind of clear the way that it's happening here. But like I say, we are going to get some... we're going to read from the book to see what it says about each star family. So now we have black coral, light in the darkness. Interesting. See, that's what I mean. I don't think that it was a disappointment, right? Like, I think you had this whole vision of what you thought life was going to be like, right? But then you get into it and it ends up being better or something. And then you have light in the darkness. So it also feels as if maybe not only is this something that's comforting and nurturing for your soul, and when I say your soul, I mean the people that are in the relationship, but like other than that, it would be something that is protective and nurturing, warm as well, but it feels very supportive and nurturing for someone or multiple other people in some way with the light, with the black coral where it says light in the darkness. It's like something about your relationship comforts others. Yeah, see, now we have pink tourmaline with the gift of love. We're going to get one more just to see. Actually, maybe two more. Right there. Okay, look at, now we have appetite with foresight. There could be some clairvoyance here as well. Look, rhodonite and ruby, so we have patience and spiritual warrior. Okay, so there's something, especially if you have, like if you're watching this and you've been together for a very long time and you got together with your person at a young age, there's something about that is very comforting, probably to your family if you're still together, right? And you're also teaching them how to have a healthy relationship. If you've been together for a very long time, you're still together, you're teaching your family how to have a healthy relationship. I mean, unless you are still together, but you're only staying together for the money, right? Like that would be kind of toxic if you hate each other and you're mean to each other, but you don't want to downgrade your living. But I don't think that's the case here. I feel like this is more of just the mere fact that you, like you found your person is comforting to other people. and the fact that you make it work. Like if you're new in a relationship, I think it's very likely you'll probably be together for a while. Let's see, what are these numbers here? 24 and 19. Okay. And it's, as I was saying that, like, I wonder if maybe when I say, like, you got married young, I wonder if that's the ages 24 and 19 or something like that, where there was only a couple years difference in your ages, but you were pretty young. Okay. So we're going to read the Venusians first. All right, so we have the Venusians are humanoid extraterrestrials that live on our Venus sister planet within our solar system. Venusians are descendants from the Lyra race. Venus is extremely hot and on third-dimensional realms, uninhabited by human standards. However, Venus is teeming with exuberant life and highly evolved civilizations. Venus has sophisticated environmental technologies that protect its colonies. These beautiful people coexist in complete harmony. Venus has no wars, is completely egalitarian, and has neither money systems nor fraud. Similar to their distant cosmic cousins, the Pleiadians, the Venusians also have a tarnished history. Eons ago, before they collectively shifted their consciousness and frequencies, the Venusians' egos nearly wiped their entire bloodline out and almost totally destroyed their own home planet, which forced them to wake up and ascend. Venusians reside in the higher astral realms of the fourth dimension, which somewhat parallels in appearance to the third, only more alive, luminous, and enlightened. Due to their activated consciousness, they are able to be fully present in their etheric light body form if they desire. They can also manifest into their third or 3D material body if they choose. They are very psychic and extremely empathetic. They are masters of manifestation. A structured form of telepathy is used for communication within the Venusian community. While in their astral form, they do not eat actual food, but rather absorb energy as a form of sustenance and nutrition. Many Venusians visit, and some are contracted to live here on Earth. The harsh densities of Earth can make the initial 3D transition difficult for them. Valiant Thor was one well-known Venusian that worked at the Pentagon in the early 60s during the Eisenhower presidency. The Venusians are energetically and deeply connected with the heart vibrations of unconditional love and are participating in assisting the conscious awakening of the Earthlings. The card meaning is romance, unconditional love, empathy, soulmates, twin flames, mutual attraction, true love, open heart, dating and courting, marriage, and self-love. But if it's in its reversed position, it is unrequited love, infatuation or a crush, obsession, heartbreak, a closed heart, and a breakup. And so let's move on to the Syrians. So Sirian B beings are from the Sirius binary, possibly trinary star system. Sirius B is the white dwarf companion star that was once larger than Sirius A, where Sirian B beings reside. The shamanic dragon tribe of West Africa revere their ancient teachings on their deity Nomo, who was a Sirian B star being that was said to arrive in a massive flying boat, then instructed them in complex astronomy and ancient history. Dogon artifacts dating back 400 years have accurate orbits of the stars before astronomers had telescopes. Nomo informed the Dogon shamans that humanity's descent of consciousness was due to materialism and greed. Some suggest certain renegade Sirius B ETs may have sold out and are responsible for providing advanced interdimensional technology to clandestine government agencies for the Montauk and Philadelphia projects, which inside sources say failed miserably with terrible consequences. Sirian B beings are bipedal with amphibian and aquatic features. They are superb in water and have advanced civilizations and technology to navigate cosmos. Sirian B beings visited and interacted with ancient Babylonian, Akkadian, and Sumerian civilizations. The card meaning is to sink or swim, having to face facts, growing up, adolescence, responsibility, bisexuality, preoccupied, integration, lessons, other commitments, entertainment, training, apprentice, and novice. And if the card is in its reverse position, it is self-loathing, shame, regret, remorse, having a chip on the shoulder, immature, and the wrong attitude, and self-sabotage. Okay, so very interesting energy coming through, but I still feel very strongly that this is talking about, like, so far, what are you supposed to do with the energy, right? Like, I feel like you're just supposed to be, right? You're just supposed to exist. But we're going to get some tarot cards to see, like, what they have to say. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. Oh, look, and the Ten of Cups. And then the Ace, or excuse me, the Three of Swords. I almost called it the Ace of Cups. I don't know why. So, very interesting the way she's holding that sword to her own heart. And I almost called this the Ace of Cups. Are you self-sabotaging something? Because we did see that with this particular card here, this Syrian B card, but this is what the Wheel of Fortune looks like. I want to show you that little mouse down there. Come on, stay focused. Okay, you see him? He's looking up at that sign that says the Wheel of Fortune. He's wanting to pull the string. I think if he pulls the string, like, he thinks it's going to make the wheel turn, right? But if he pulls the string, it's going to cause her to fall. Interesting. So typically the Wheel of Fortune is energy of, like, it's your own actions that cause the wheel to spin or causes fate to happen, right? But in this instance, with this card, I feel like there's somebody, the decision of somebody else that's going to determine your fate. Like, you're trying to spin the wheel there. Maybe you're even trying to jump up and down on this lever, right, to get it to spin, to get it to move. But I feel like if he was to pull on this, you would fall down, and this thing would move out of the way, and for some reason this would start spinning. It might even spin off of the tree. But I think that's attached to whatever this is. So one person, I don't know, one person, like, oh, and look, at somebody feels sad. And you see a spilled cup right here. It's spilling all these contents, and he's spilling his cup as well. So this is the Knight of Cups. It's kind of sad energy, which is very interesting to me, because what I do have to explain, everything that's on the bottom of the deck, this is energy of the past, right? This is whatever it was that led you to the moment that we're in right now, where you're watching this reading. So this is all stuff that happened in the past. Well, we didn't even get to this one, but that is the Ace of Pentacles. But look at that big ass apple. Like, it's so big, it caused the tree to bend. That's how much wisdom you gained over all of this. which we kind of already saw anyway, like especially if you've been together with your person for a while. With these two cards here, if you've been together with your person for a while, everything on the bottom of the deck is talking about how you've overcome hardship, at least in the relationship. I feel like this little stack right here wants to come out. So now we have the Knight of Swords. It's like, look at them, look at the way they're talking things out. One person looks like they're apologizing to the other. But there's like a mutual understanding in this conversation, right? You can see it very clearly. So I think, again, like I want to say it again, like you're teaching either your children or the people around you how to be healthy in a relationship and working through difficulties and problems. So we have the Four of Wands. Look at how close they are on the couch, right? They look very comfortable. Now we have the Four of Swords. 2 fours so far, talking about security. She looks very comfortable as well. She looks like, well, she's taking a nap, and that's typically what the Four of Swords is about, is it's a rest, taking a rest, or taking a break from something. So you've got 2 fours, then you've got the 10 of Wands. So again, this is energy from the past, right? You were really close in the past, but you probably did take a break. And then now we've got the King of Wands with the High Priestess. So, what is that part of his shirt right there? What is this? I almost feel like it's like oh, it's part of his collar on his shirt. It is. I didn't even see the one on this side. I almost felt like, strangely, like it was a bullhorn or something. And I'm just now noticing this person back here. I think, hold on, let me see if I can get a better look at that. Interesting, this is her face there, but then it looks like eyes right here. Okay, so, and we have another person there that I didn't notice right away. And then look at all the hearts in the background. You were probably with someone in the past. You've either separated, or you've divorced or something. Or you might have separated at least. In fact, I think maybe definitely, like, if it was a marriage, you probably definitely separated, but might not be divorced yet because the strings are still attached to the women here. But also, that's another side message that I'm going to get to in just a second. And then we have, like, this is the energy of right now, where your present energy, where you're still attached, but separated at this point. And then we've got the King of Wands and the High Priestess. And it's interesting to me that the King of Wands has 2 people in the background here. At least one of, and I think these are exes. I think this King of Wands is a new person. I'm seeing the hairdo as a bird. It's being shown to me as a bird. And so I think, even though it's saying the King of Wands, I think the wands, the suit of wands for this card is talking about someone very passionate, but it could be that they're maybe an air sign, or if they have fire in their chart, it's a mix of fire and air, maybe in their top 3, or the new person, because I think there was a person that you left and there's a new person coming in. So if the new person coming in might be, maybe they're very intellectual, maybe incredibly intelligent as well. Could be that they're psychic also with this High Priestess card. But then I was kind of seeing this here a little bit like a bullhorn. Like they want to come in and like declare something loudly, probably love, because there's hearts in the background, but then there are these two people in the background. So, and it's coming up a couple of times already. I think this person probably has people, like this person is, it might be, this person might be attached, but maybe not as attached as this person. And I have to say, there is a possibility that the person over here that you're leaving, because if you look at this, look at how she's looking up at him, but he's looking probably at a TV or somewhere. He's not looking at her, right? Like she's paying attention to what he's doing, but he's paying attention to something else in this picture. And then we've got all of these women here with attachments to them. So it could be that maybe you were with someone who was with multiple people while they were with you, right? And they probably were like, well, you know, I don't really care anything about them, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Or if it's not that they were with multiple people and you, it's that they were still attached to stuff from their past and, you know, immature and not ready for a relationship. And so, you know, you guys split up because they maybe weren't ready for responsibility or something. But now here's this other person coming in who's probably single but has people interested at least, or maybe like when you meet, at least they're probably single but dating. And then I think they meet you and suddenly they don't even see the other people that they're dating anymore. I think one of the people that they were dating is probably very psychic and probably sees it coming. There's a very good chance that you are just as psychic as the ex. Maybe even more so because of, you know, this is the High Priestess here. So this could be a priestess, but then we've got the High Priestess here. And she has a star around her eye as well. I see it. So, again, I've been saying it all the way through the reading. I think just the mere fact that you're able to work through like relationship problems and still, you know, still stay together with your person, and it's because of love, right? You're still together because of love, not because of any other reason, and it's long-term. Now, if you're watching this and you're not in a long-term relationship at this point, I think that's what you're meant to have, and I think that's the reason that this is coming through. But if you are in a long-term relationship and you had struggles where your person was attached to other people for whatever reason, whether that was because they were cheating or because they just weren't mature enough and they were attached to their past, right? I think once that is over or was over, depending on how old you are and where you're at in your life, that's when you meet the person that is supposed to be, your person. I'm going to go ahead and I want to see if there's anything else that they want you to know. We're going to use our very questionable racy deck here. And then once we're done with that, we'll go ahead and look at the charms to see what you need to be aware of in regards to this situation here over the next month. Okay, interesting that we have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, but I'm just going to keep going. And the only reason that I say that's interesting is because it's just that she's ruled by Venus. We have Venus here because it's the card of Taurus, or at least I read the Queen of Pentacles as the card of Taurus. So we have the Five of Pentacles, which is rejection or lack energy, but that's sitting in the past position. Oh, new beginning. Also, she kind of looks like she's on a catwalk or something, like she's like on a catwalk, like modeling. And then look, happy, what is this? It's like happy times with friends. Hold on. It does. It kind of looks like she's on a catwalk, like she's modeling her clothes or something, or she's like she's getting ready to go out and she's modeling her clothes for someone, maybe to go out with friends. And then we've got this, like, it's almost like experiments, right? Oh, look at, and then there's the King of Pentacles. Okay, so I knew that Queen of Pentacles was going to be important. I think, like, this is either you're for some, I don't know, for somebody, either you're working too much or you're spending too much time at school, too much time studying. This is like experimentation, right? Because that's literally, she looks like she's in some sort of laboratory experimenting with these two vials in her hands, or testing something, right? So either you're working too hard or you're studying too hard, and you should really get out, like get yourself dressed up, like, because you have lack energy over here and rejection energy. But in a way, she kind of also looks like she's modeling her cloak here in a way. I don't know. It's like somebody's getting dressed and ready to go out. I think once you do, you find your King of Pentacles, because you're the Queen of Pentacles, even if you're not an earth sign. But this is the Venusians. And, you know, if you have two of the same suit in a reading, especially when you're talking about love and romance, this is how I read. If you have two of the same suit or a matching set of, like a king and queen matching suits, that's a pair. They're meant to be together. And we're talking about a situation where you're just meant to be happy in a relationship in order to give comfort to others and teach others how to be happy and healthy in a relationship, because you're able to overcome things over a long period of time with strength and patience and gentle courage. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and move on to the charms to see what you need to be aware of over the next month regarding this energy. Okay. I just realized the music is not playing even though I had it playing. Very interesting that you've got the rune of joy with angel light in the very center, and then this particular charm here. But this one is the one that's the most important of those three. So again, like I say, this is the rune of joy, but it's in the neutral position, meaning it is not upright, it is not in the reverse, it is on its side. It's not giving off any kind of energy at all, but there is the potential, is basically what it's saying. There's the potential for joy. I think it has to do with your faith, Trust the angels to work on your behalf behind the scenes, because there is absolutely some joy coming in. Could be surrounding home and family because of this particular charm falling over the third and fourth houses. The third house, if you're talking about family members, the third house would be those who are on the same level as you or your peers, meaning siblings, cousins, you know, even neighbors or friends that are you know, if they live in your neighborhood, I should say, like neighbors and friends that are close enough that you would consider them family. There's some sort of surprise coming in, a small surprise coming in, probably good news, I should say, because it was mainly sitting in the third house. So some sort of surprise, small good news, maybe even a news of a child, of a baby, because of this, because this particular charm belongs to my granddaughter, who is now too old to play with it. So I put it in my charm box. So you might hear news of a child that, you know, around the family that makes you very happy, very joyful. There is potential here for it. So, and then again, we have the 5th and 6th houses here. We've got the letter M. So that can be a person, place, or thing that will be very important to everything that everything that the 5th and 6th house represents over the next month. And let me go over that now. So the 5th house is the house of children, romance, and all things creative, right? That can include any kind of artistic activity that you are involved in. And then in the 6th house, you're looking at what is it that you're doing with your time each day. So if you have a job, right, that's here in the 6th house. If you you know, if you are stressed out for the majority of the day, that can also be found here, because this is the house of health. If you don't actually have a job, but you're a stay-at-home mom, that's also found here, because this is also the house of service, how you provide service to others. So if you're a stay-at-home mom, you provide service to your family. So either way, we have the letter M that's going to be important to those areas over the next month, and then coming up to your 9th and 10th houses. So before we even get to the letter, because we do know it's going to be a letter, person, place, or thing that will be important to this area, let's talk about what the 9th and 10th house represents. The 9th house is your higher consciousness. This can also be higher education. It can be long distance travel, meaning some place that it would take hours to get there, or you would have to take an airplane or a boat to get there, right, over water or to another country. This can also be those people that are different from you, whether they are from a different country than where you are, or maybe their beliefs and traditions are different from you. You can also find legal issues here. As well as like all bureaucracies in terms of like government, things like that. Then we come to the 10th house, which is where you have your career as well as your reputation. The 10th house is where you leave home to go out into the world in order to bring resources back home, right? What is the reputation that you have in the world at large? And so we have the letter C. So there's going to be a person, place, or thing that will affect those two areas for you over the next month that they want you to be aware of. And at this point, I'm going to at this point, I want to say that I hope that resonates. If it does not, please watch for your sun, moon, or rising. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, anything that you can to help me, and it really does help me, so I thank you very much for watching. Hello, group 3. Okay, so you have the Tao Setians, which are resilient, bold, and sassy. And we have the song, hold on, I need to find my phone. Where did I put my phone? Jeez. I apologize. I had to take a break between groups, and I was outside on my phone and so I lost it. So we have the song Seven Wonders by Fleetwood Mac. Okay, so resilient, bold, and sassy are the Tao Setians. Then we have Moonstone with Mother Goddess. We have Kyanite with alignment. And Sulfur, physical radiance. Interesting. The sulfur, and then we've got this orangey sort of yellow that's being pulled into her shirt here. Talks about the physical radiance. I feel that there's like a health aspect attached to this reading. Let's go ahead and we've already got 3 crystals, but actually no, let's go ahead and move on to, I almost forgot that I got to read from the book with the Tao Setians, how they're described. And then we'll move on to the tarot cards. I was trying to jump ahead of myself. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling like health. Could be beauty as well, but health is coming through kind of strong. Especially something about in the torso area. It could even be something that has to do with female health, the feminine, like reproductive or feminine health and well-being all together, because we do have the Moonstone Mother Goddess card with alignment next to it. Okay, so the Tao Setians. Tao Setians predominantly reside in the Cetus constellation, which is the whale, which is relatively near Earth, only 12 light years away. Though it is suggested some reside on Epsilon in the Eridanus constellation. They are humanoid with an olive tanned complexion and black hair. Some say they look Mediterranean or Slavic and or South American in appearance. Like Pleiadians, they have slightly pointed ears. Their build is very solid, typically with strong, brawny legs. Their noses are broad, and they mostly have short Roman crew-style haircuts. Tao Setians prefer to reside in secluded dwellings. They are in alliance with Pleiadians and other off-planet societies who have shared similar historical experiences of being preyed upon during draconian invasions. The Tao Setians' history of being victimized by a predatory species is still raw, and they are still battling wounds. Their intense grudge in this area is very obvious. Their focus is on raising awareness of covert mind control techniques, and they are concerned about the small grays. They talk in a very guttural tone and are very demonstrative and audacious when talking. Their motherships are huge plasma crafts. Tao Setians are known to be brilliant pilots and galactic navigators. So the card meaning is combative, bold, resilient, outspoken, speaking your truth, intense, conviction, blunt, candid, sassy, assertive. In the reverse position, they're belligerent, holding a grudge, antagonistic, insensitive, bombastic, blathering, and overly defensive. We have the song Don't Let the Lights Go Out, Panic at the Disco. So, God, I gotta be honest, I just read that. And I don't remember really what it says other than the fact that they're bold, right? I don't remember like personality traits. I still feel like this whole health thing is coming through strong. So give me a second to read this again. I apologize. Okay, so there wasn't a whole lot of like personality traits that came through, like other than not wanting to be victimized, which nobody wants to be victimized. Anybody who has been, of course, they're going to have issues of anger around that, right? Just kind of makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But anyway. I really feel like there's something about feminine health and well-being. I don't know, it could be like actual like healthcare field. The yellow is really, actually, it's more of the orangey yellow, but it's really hitting me in the card. Maybe helping women to, what is this? Helping women to assert themselves. And here's the thing, not everyone is going to want to work with sulfur, but I think, I think for sure, at least like Congo citrine, if you have it. You want something with a really deep, this deep sort of orangey yellow or coppery yellow color that's in this card. Like you want a crystal, or maybe amber would be a good stone to use, but we want something a little bit more solar plexus. But it needs to be a deep, dark yellow, like Congo citrine, or tigerite or pyrite or something like that. This does feel like assertiveness, or there's something about exerting your will, but I think you are yeah, see, look at now, you've got the Temperance card. You're helping others to balance so that they can exert their will. It also has to do with like maybe dressing for success in some way. Okay. We have the song. Oh, it's exactly 3:33 p.m. So we have the song I Want to Know What Love Is, Foreigner. I did just shuffle, but I feel like I need to shuffle again, even though we've looked at the bottom of the deck. Oi. I did not mean to do that. So how are you meant to use this energy? We've got the Lovers and the Six of Wands, 2 sixes. Or excuse me, it's not the Lovers, it's the Tower. I don't know why. This has happened to me twice now, where I thought a card was going to be one card and it ended up being something completely different. And literally for a second there I was seeing it as the Lovers. So the Tower is like something very sudden and unexpected, and as you can see, it's something very fiery and explosive, right? But you are safe. Like you knew it was coming before it came. But it has to do with the Lovers. Okay, hold on. We also have something about the inner child. It's coming through twice. We have a child here sitting on the tree talking to the woman here. And then you see she's crying, and we've got the Jack in the Box here, which is a child's toy. So it's recognition over a wound from, it's like a wound for, that's the wound that happened to your inner child. And a decision that you need to make, oh, I see, on which way to go next. Very interesting, because the Two of Wands has to do with like planning, right? You have an idea with the Ace of Wands, and the Two of Wands is where you start to plan it out. You also gain support from others as well with the Two of Wands, like there's support coming in because now you have two instead of one. The message of the Knight of Cups is an offer of love, right? There's some sort of heartfelt, tangible offer. However, when you look at these two cards, the images on these two cards, I guess you can see some planning stages here, but this is more about which way do I go, which direction do I go. This one as well, he's walking along this path. He's found his direction that he wants to go, but he looks a little sad to me. Every time I see this particular card, I always think he feels a little sad as he's heading along his path. He or she, I should say, because we don't, I mean, it could be her, right? So what this tells me is that I feel like you have choices, right, as to how to use this energy, but I keep coming back to helping people to find their assertiveness, or helping women to overcome this like inner child wound here, to protect themselves. Now we've got the Three of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, but yeah, very strongly finding their path. You could be like a mentor in some way, like a lifestyle coach maybe, or a spiritual coach. We have the song Church Bells, Carrie Underwood. Okay, so mentoring, women's health, helping people to find their voice, find their power, find their like assertiveness, or to assert themselves in some way, find their path, to get on the right path, to plan out their path in some way. Let's go ahead and move on to our questionable deck to see if there's any other messages that they want to bring in before we move to the charms. You could be a speaker as well because of the kyanite, but I really am feeling it more so as like it could be one-on-one. Like if you're speaking, I think it's more one-on-one where you're helping people to balance out, because these two stones together is very gentle energy. It's like very warm, nurturing energy. This is, and sulfur is going to be another warm energy. It's heat that comes from sulfur. Like when I look at these two, I feel like I'm being cradled in a soft blanket, right? Especially with the kyanite, even though it should be the moonstone that makes me feel that way, it's actually the kyanite. And it's the gray portion of the kyanite that makes me feel like I have a soft, fuzzy blanket around me when I look at it. Now, when I hold the actual stone in my hand, that's not what I feel at all. It's just when I look at the crystal deva, which is what this image is, this is the representation of the spirit of the crystal. the spirit that lives within the crystal. And so that sigil there in the center, if you don't actually have any kyanite, you can draw that sigil, those markings right there. You can draw that on anything to bring this crystal deva, the spirit of the crystal, into whatever working or, you know, whatever it is that you want to bring that energy to. But again, so it feels as if there's something about maybe you speak to people one-on-one, women one-on-one, not just people, women specifically. It feels very like you work with women, or you're very nurturing in your energy. Maybe you have very divine feminine energy. God, I need to fix my camera. I think I keep fixing these on the table, and then I look up on the screen and it's actually all jacked up. Okay, and I just can't. They got to be straight. So, we have the song Amen, Hailstorm. Okay. So like I said, we're going to see if there's anything else that they want you to know. It could be concerning how you need to use this energy, but it might not be. Some of the readings, it's been, you know, a completely different message. But once we're done with this part, we'll go ahead and move on to the charms to see what you need to be aware of over the next month regarding this situation here. You know, I just realized we've had two songs now that have to do with like church and ministry. Church bells, or excuse me, I should say the name of the songs, at least the song themselves, are not about, well, church bells does just, it mentions being in church. But anyway, so maybe you're in ministry, right? Maybe you are women's ministry. And maybe this blanket feeling is coming from the like prayer. Maybe you pray with women, like one-on-one, and that's the comfort that you give, and that's the reason that it feels like one of those soft, fuzzy blankets. We have death on the bottom of the deck. This could also be maybe at a certain stage, like women going through menopause, or maybe going through you know, certain types of endings and transformations in their life. Even, it could even be that you counsel, like grief counseling, women specifically. Now we have the Four of Pentacles, so helping people to let go, you know, with courage and strength, right? To have the strength to let go is what these three are talking about here. So that's another aspect of how you could use this energy. Oh, and this one wants to come out, and I actually feel like it goes like this. Okay. All right, so now we have the Magician. I feel like it's saying really anything that you want to do, you can do. But the areas that I've mentioned, like maybe these are areas that you're already interested in, or maybe you've already thought about or something. But with this, it's saying literally you have all possibilities at your disposal. We have the song Can't Get Enough, Bad Company, which tells me maybe not just that you can do whatever you want, maybe you like to do multiple things at once. Oh, look at, we've got the Chariot. The 8, okay, so there could be travel connected to what you do or what you want to do. Look at, now we've got the 9 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. I like, you're very much fulfilled and you feel balanced even though you're juggling. There's something about you enjoy juggling. And then we've got the 7, again, more like I've got so many options, so many, you literally could do anything that you wanted. And this coming out underneath the 8 of Specimens it typically would come in this order, where this is where you have all of your options in front of you, but this card is saying you've made the choice and now you're going out to find it, right? And that is sitting in the present, or the present energy, or currently what's happening. But I feel like it's saying, rather than you've made a choice and you're going out to find it, I feel like it's coming out in the opposite way, where you're going out to find all of these options because you enjoy having a lot of options, or having a lot of different things to keep your attention. The variety keeps things interesting, basically. And it's perfectly fine to do that. Like, it will probably be very, very beneficial for you to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the charms. I just kind of wanted to sit with it for a second to see if there was anything else they wanted to tell me. Or tell you, I should say. All right. You had a lot of letters coming out there. So having the desert rose fall off of the board in your 12th house over the next at least 6 months, probably even longer, because this here was what stopped it. Although that in and of itself is a message that I'll get to in just a second. There's something about the need to be gentle, probably with yourself and others. Like you may not even see the need for that at this moment as you're watching this. You might not see it for several months. But you're going to need to be very delicate in a particular situation. And it's going to be regarding these two letters here. So we've got N and A. So that can be person, place, or thing with these letters attached to their name. It also is definitely going to be someone, probably, or someone or something that has to do with like your social circle or your network. And it's interesting to me that the sign of Libra came out in the 11th house. So this can be another Libra that you're dealing with, or this can be something, something where this is going to affect you personally, but it's coming from your friend's circle, and it's something that's in your blind spot. Like, you have no idea about it at this moment, especially because these two letters were upside down. So I'm going to leave them on the board so that you can use them to spell a word, if you can, with the other letters. In the very center of your reading, you have the arches with the acorn and the key to faith. And the key to faith is sitting directly on the arches, which is saying the key to your abundance, to your ascension, to, manifesting all the things that you want is to have faith, pure and simple. No other message. That's what they want to tell you for the entire month. So now I want to explain about this, stopping this particular charm, because it is important. So if this is a person and they are sending hate towards you, the obsidian will act as a natural mirror to literally, you won't even feel the energy. It will bounce off of the obsidian, or the obsidian stops it, or basically your spiritual team, your angels, ancestors, and guides will stop this negativity, and it will immediately be reflected back towards where it came. Now, if this is you sending negativity towards others, even if it's just in your head, you're being counseled not to. You're being counseled to have compassion, to be gentle, to be patient, right? Because you don't want anything negative to bounce back on you. Regardless of what's happening, for the rest of the month, but especially because they're counseling you to have faith. Also, you've got the angel of peace here in the 3rd house. So there's a message of peace coming in, again, that you don't even see. And it's coming from your angels. It's either one that you don't see or you're ignoring it because the angel is upside down, right? And the 3rd house is all about communication. And here's that letter N again. So important letter coming through. In the 4th house now we have an M. I know I skipped the 2nd house, but I'm going to come back to it. So this communication could have to do with family, or it could be about your home, the actual house that you live in, your family, the people that live in your house, even if they're not related to you, as well as like your parents, right? So again, there's a message coming in that either brings you peace, it's a message of peace, a peaceful message in some way connected to probably your home and family. Now, in the 2nd house, you've got the green man. So this is about abundance and fertility, all good things. So there might be some money coming in. This could be attached to this, have faith. That's like the key to everything this month is for you to have faith. Now, over the 5th and 6th houses here, so the 5th house is the house of creativity, but it's also the house of children and romance. Like, you know, you have to start dating. Like, if you want to have kids, you've got to date and have romance and all that good stuff first, right? To be able to create the children. That's what's in this house. And then in the 6th house, we're looking at how are you spending your time each day. So this can be the work that you do each day. It can be the service that you provide to others if you don't work. But this is also where your health is, right? Like any health issues that you have are going to be found here, or anything that's going to affect your health. And so we have the letter C. So that's a person, place, or thing. And then we've got the shooting stars. So I know that I think today is actually the last day of the meteor shower, and I don't remember exactly where it is visible, but there could be a message in that where maybe something starts today, because this was in the reverse. Maybe you can't see it or you're ignoring it. Maybe you should go watch it if you can see it. If it's visible in your area, go outside and try to watch it. But I feel like something is going to start, and it starts with the meteor shower, or like with the shooting star, right? Because these are shooting stars. But then also we just had a eclipse, and there is a moon right here on the side. It kind of looks like the moon is like whatever the moon is saying. It's like the shooting stars are coming from the moon, or the light is coming from the moon, but they're all like, they're all on point. They're all, you know, they're all stars, basically. It's an all-star something. It's all good. It's all healing. Everything is hitting its mark. It's like all positive, right? So there's some sort of change coming into this area over the next month that you probably either don't see coming, or you're ignoring, or something you'll be surprised by. But I think it's good. I really do think it's good. This whole thing has felt very positive to me. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. If it does not resonate, please watch for your sun, moon, or rising. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, anything that you can to help me, because it really does help me. So I thank you very much for watching.